just give them a chance. I don't care what race anybody is, what color. I really don't care. As long as they.
Percy would be so upset if he was corrected.
So before we talk about finding Harry, I just wanted to say I'm kind of done talking about the races of people within the series. Maybe it takes away from the accuracy, but really, when you get down to it, let the actors do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And Papa Sidu, man, I wish you all the best of luck.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to you crushing this because I know you're going to crush this. I mean, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And, you know, in his defense, his character will be different because movie Snape is not book Snape. So the character's going to be completely different.
Sure. But Alan Rickman.
I know. I know. I just get so tired of people talking about it. I'm like, just give them a chance. Like, I don't care what race anybody is, what color. I really don't care. As long as they do a good job. Yeah. That's all we can ask for. We can't basically turn it down before it's even begun.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say I do care as a fan of the books.
Yeah.
Right? I want everything as close to the books. So the fact that they cast a black guy for Snape is to me like but you know that's not who Snape was. Yeah. Now, to go on what you're saying, he's cast.
Yeah.
Papa's
it's done.
It's done. There's nothing I can do. So now I'm rooting for Papa Sidu. Yeah, I think you know, everybody that's seen him act has said he's a great actor. So cool. I'm excited to see his take on it.
And hearing his voice, I was like, "Ooh, he sounds good."
I can't wait to hear his Snape voice because in Finding Harry, Creating the Magic, you know, you see him there and you see that he's a huge fan of the books, and you see that, you know, some of the people that worked on it, you know, they're all fans in their own right, which is really cool. But I want to address one of the things that a lot of people are saying now that Snape's going to be black in the movie or in the show. They're like, oh my gosh, it's going to seem like Harry's racist to him, or that James was racist to him.
If you go into it with a racist mindset, yes, it will look racist.
Sure.
But if you go into it like, who cares what color everybody is? It'll be just fine. It's just a person playing a role.
And two things to kind of combat that assumption that it's going to look like, you know, Harry and James were racist. Snape's actions are suspicious.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, the first time that Harry sees Snape, what happens to Harry? His scar hurts.
Yeah.
So that's immediately what happens. And then the whole James and Snape thing, they hated each other.
Yeah, you get a little bit of it in the movies. You get more of it in the books.
In the books, they hated each other, especially when Snape and Lily stopped hanging out. I mean, that was just Snape hated James just as much as James hated Snape. So
I just didn't want to harp on it anymore.
Yeah,
because it's everywhere, and I'm getting tired of seeing it, and I don't care who's playing what. I honestly don't.
Just be good.
I wish him all the best of luck
because
he's getting a lot of hate, and
it's
not cool. It's not cool. But I wanted to jump into this Finding Harry, and I wanted to start out with a quote from John Lithgow.
I know exactly which quote you're doing, yeah.
The story is there, but we get to enact all the things that you know are going on in the wings, but you don't see them. I couldn't have said it better myself. What did you think about this Finding Harry? I mean, there's animatronics. They're talking about
looks amazing.
36,000 individual feathers per owl, and there's 10 owls. I was like, nope, not doing that.
Which seemed high. It felt like an exaggeration, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
I mean,
got to make it look like an owl, so it's got to be covered pretty good. Yeah,
it looked so good. They had the flobberworms.
I know, I saw that. I was like, I wouldn't touch it.
Looked
yes.
great, and he's just and Scabbers, and I mean everything looks great, and it's almost
Number 4 Privet Drive.
Number 4 Privet Drive. Here's the one thing, and they kind of went into it. I'm still not sold on it. Yes, Harry Potter is based in the 90s. And they're like, oh yeah, we're making everything. They're going hard on the 90s clothing and stuff. And that I think is unnecessary. Again, I think Stranger Things and some other things. But I don't want, it's like Snape. We saw, if you've seen the still of Snape where he's wearing black leather with a zipper.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, the zipper was 90s. But zippers don't feel like Snape. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's just because we saw Alan Rickman in the full black robe with nothing.
Everything we saw first, it's unfortunately what it's going to be compared to. But I think leading into the 90s is good because I noticed in the movies set in the 90s, every once in a while there was a 90s feel to it. But then later I was like, well, that looks kind of modern.
Well, see, I never read the books thinking that this is a book about wizards in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's later, like way older than that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, it's just a book about wizards. It never says a
Daedalus
year.
Diggle. Did you see him?
We saw a few.
I'm assuming that was him. I was like, there he is.
Now the wizards, like some of the wizards' wardrobes that they showed in Finding Harry, looked so good.
Oh, I like everything about
so
this.
Good.
Like the whole, they invented a town for lack of better words. I mean,
and the head costumer has read the books. The set designer has read the books. Papa Sidhu's read the books. John Lithgow's read the books.
And they do kind of talk about the lighting situation that everybody's getting up in arms about. They want it to look more natural, more real, and that's it. They nailed it.
I'm all for it.
In that preview, they nailed it, and I love it.
Yeah, some people are saying it's too dark, but I mean,
no, it's not. It's all about lighting, and the lighting in the movies was artificial.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's artificial, but you want it to look real. Yeah. You don't want it to feel like, oh, what's up with this lighting? Like you want it to be natural, and that's what they're doing. And
we see Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
Diagon Alley looked great.
Oh, it's so good.
We saw Gringotts. Now, Gringotts, if that was Gringotts that we saw, the columns aren't crooked. In Finding Harry, they weren't crooked. And again, I don't mind that because when the original Harry Potter came out, they wanted it to make everything look so whimsical and so so it's like, oh, we've got this huge bank that's got crooked pillars out front, columns out front. Necessary, not necessary, who knows?
I don't think anything would be crooked. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks cool, but realistically speaking, wizards that can build this stuff by magic, why would anything be crooked?
Why would it be? Yeah. So, you know what we did not get to see? We did not get to see an outside view of Hogwarts.
No, still not yet.
We did not get to see that.
And I hope we don't. Until the series starts.
Save it. Make it a big scene. Like, make it a scene
the train, though,
what could probably be episode 2. Yeah, probably episode 2 or 3. I don't think we'll get to Hogwarts in the first episode. I think we'll get to Diagon Alley in the first episode, but I don't think we'll get to Hogwarts in the first episode. So save it. Keep the suspense.
Just they're showing looked like the chocolate frog boxes and
looked so
everything
good.
Looks so, and they're even saying like, we want this to look so much like it's described in the books. Like we're trying really hard for the book fans out. Like they say, the book fans out there
are gonna love it.
And I'm like, yes.
And she also the lead costumer said something that I really liked. She goes, "We want to honor what has come before." Right? Yeah. The movies. She goes, but we want to find the extra detail.
Yes.
That they didn't, really address in those movies. And I love that, because when you see the animatronic owl, when you see
the new creatures that are in the books that we've never seen before,
they look great. They look great. Even that one frog, I don't even know if they talk about that frog in the book.
I think they do. Yeah.
But it must be a very obscure thing.
The way that they're doing everything gives it like a more at home feel, right? Like this comfortable, this cozy, sitting with your family type of it.
Yes.
It sets the mood. It really does, and it puts you there, in my opinion. And it was kind of like that with this chapter. So welcome back, witches, wizards, and muggles, to Squib's Corner. I am Jeremiah.
And I'm Andrew, and today we're jumping into Chapter 5, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. And yes, I will mess that up on multiple occasions during this episode. That's right. Of Book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Before we go forward, let's go backwards to Chapter 4, back to the Burrow. But before we do that, we just want to say thank you to everybody that's listening. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Thank you to everybody that's liked, subscribed, shared, commented. It is so cool to just see people engaging, people responding, and people enjoying. Thank you. Thank you so much. We love it.
We had a comment. We had a comment on our music. I asked everybody, anybody, if they could let us know how the music is. And it's right here. Let's see if I can make it come full screen. How do I
believe
that?
In you. You're going to share the screen? Is that what you're talking
comments. There we go. It says, from @studentfilmed 3 days ago, at 1519, I love the music cues too. They are a fun lead in. And every time you play them, I wonder where you managed to find such a good match to the original music. Haha. So,
are you going to answer that?
So the music is provided by Soundstripe.com.
That's right, Soundstripe.
Yeah, you go there and make yourself a subscription, and you get to use their licensed music, and because you can't use copyright music. But yeah, we do use Soundstripe.com, and they got all kinds of stuff on there. But thank you for letting us know that you love the music. Because
I love the music. I love the music.
Well, sometimes I wonder, is it too much?
Hey, you stop that. You stop that stinking thinking right there, okay, buddy?
Hey, hopefully we get to hear a pop quiz sound in here. So
you know what? They're gonna be random. They're gonna be random. I didn't put any in the because here's what I don't want you to do. I'm always like, if I put pop quiz in the script, he's gonna be like, okay, what part is this pop quiz? I should go back and read that. So I'm like, no. Okay, so Chapter 4, back to the Burrow. We don't actually make it back to the Burrow in Chapter 4, but basically it's a brief chapter.
Fun
chapter. Molly sends a letter to the Dursleys asking if Harry can come to the World Cup and finish out the summer there. She puts stamps all over the envelope except for where she puts the address. Mr. Dursley did not like that. Ron went ahead and sent an owl with the same message. And it's basically, we're going to pick you up on Sunday at 5, no matter what.
Let us know. We'll pick you up. If they say yes, let us know, and we'll come pick you up.
Yeah, so Harry, Uncle Vernon is at a crossroads. He doesn't want Harry to be happy, but he also doesn't want Harry in his house. So when he wasn't coming to a decision, Harry said, you know what, I'm just going to go write a letter to my godfather, Sirius Black.
And
let him know. Let him know. So that was the winning blow right there. So he said, sure. So the rest of the chapter is them getting ready. Uncle Vernon, he's in his best suit. They're waiting around. They're assuming, rightfully so, that they're going to come by car.
They no longer have a car.
Yeah, they no longer have a car, but Mr. Weasley works for the Ministry. And they've borrowed ministry cars before, right? So, it's definitely something that Harry was like, I don't know. So, turns out that, number one, the Weasleys were late in picking up Harry, which the Vernons were ready to pounce all over that. And then, instead of hearing a car rumble in the driveway, they hear a slam, and Uncle Vernon, or Uncle Mr. Weasley.
Uncle Vernon, I don't think it's
Mr. Weasley was in the fireplace, unfortunately stuck behind an electric fireplace. So they had attached number 4 Privet Drive to the Flu Network. Finally, after Fred and George and Ron, they're all trapped in there. They blast the fireplace away, which poor Petunia, I'm sure that just wrecked her soul.
Right.
My spotless living room. So they come out and they basically collect Harry. It was not a pleasant
chaos
event.
ensued.
Chaos. Fred accidentally dropped some candy. Maliciously accidentally dropped some candy. Then they all left, right? They grab the trunks, they leave, they all go back to the burrow. As Harry's about to do it, he notices Dudley's tongue start to get bigger.
So great.
And then Uncle Vernon starts throwing things, and then whoosh, Harry starts going back to the burrow.
Yeah.
Blue powders to the burrow. And that brings us to Chapter 5, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Let's jump into those 7-word summaries.
What do you got for this one, Andrew?
Harry Potter, now back to the burrow.
Yeah. I should have seen that one coming. Mine, I went a different direction. The Weasleys' house sounds like so much fun. It just sounds like a warm, inviting environment. It would just be a blast to be like nonstop fun. Even when you're in trouble, it's still fun.
That was a great 8-word summary.
No, it was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The Weasley's house sounds like so much fun.
Oh, maybe I added the word. It says the Weasley house sounds so much fun.
Sounds so much fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Take the like out of there, people. We here at Squibs Corner are imperfect.
I'm curious. As I was listening to this, I went, 7 chapter novels. I don't know about that.
Bro, it was difficult. And I
feel
started
like the beginning of this book, we're just relaxing.
Yeah,
we're doing new things, but we're just relaxing.
It's a slow. Yeah, the intro is a slow burn, which I like, because even now we're in chapter 5. We're seeing Molly Weasley again. And she describes Molly Weasley. She describes Bill. This is the first time outside of a photograph that we're seeing Bill and Charlie, which is chapter notable number 1, Bill and Charlie, right? So she's still kind of bringing us back, and which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Because this was a fun chapter. It was a short chapter, a brief chapter. So I like early loaded the chapter notables, and then I had to go back and it's like, oh, no. This one, we'll say that this is notable. We can say that this is notable.
See what we got.
Yeah, so the 7 chapter notables. Number 1, Bill and Charlie. Number 2, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Number 3, Mr. Crouch. Number 4, Ludo Bagman. If you've not read the books and only seen the movies, you'll not know who Ludo Bagman is.
Yeah.
Number 5, Bertha Jorkins again. Number 6, another event after the World Cup. And number 7, Viktor Krum. So we'll start out with the first paragraph of chapter 5, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Harry spun. Now remember, he's just leaving the Dursleys, and he's going through the Flu Network. Harry spun faster and faster, elbows tucked tightly to his sides, blurred fireplaces flashing past him, until he started to feel sick and closed his eyes. Then, when at last he felt himself slowing down, he threw out his hands and came to a halt in time to prevent himself from falling face forward out of the Weasleys' kitchen fire.
So we already discussed Chapter 4, Back to the Burrow, where ironically we
did not.
We
go
didn't.
Back to the burrow.
We could change this chapter to Weasley Wizard Wheezes Back to the Burrow.
Back
to the Burrow with Weasley Wizard Wheezes. Something like that.
I like it.
Yeah. So now in the first paragraph of Chapter 5, Harry's finally made it back to the burrow. Immediately, Fred asked Harry if Dudley had eaten any of the candy they accidentally dropped. Which was apparently called a Tung Toffee, created by Fred and George, but not yet tested on anyone until now.
Now, I have to ask, they knew their father was there. Right? They knew their father was there. What did they think was going to happen?
He's such a lightweight. Not lightweight, but like, you know, there's a strict parent and
sure.
Kid's that guy. They're just kid. He doesn't. Empty threats. I'm going to tell your mom. Oh, crap. She's there.
Yeah.
No. What?
Boy.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But
Yeah.
I love this. Everybody began laughing. Even the two red hair brothers Harry had never met before, but knew exactly who they were by just looking at them. Chapter notable number 1, Bill and Charlie Weasley, the two eldest Weasley children. Charlie worked with dragons in Romania, and we've talked about him before. And he was involved in getting rid of the dragon, correct?
Yeah, book 1. Yep, book 1.
Not really talked about.
Well, there's correspondence, so they write to Charlie.
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, yeah, I've got some friends heading up this way. Have the dragon up. So Charlie's not in that group.
Yeah,
so we don't meet him there, but we do know.
Sort of meet him, I guess. And Bill, this is the first time we meet Bill, right?
Yeah, no.
We've heard about him, but we haven't.
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything like Charlie.
Yeah.
Has. So Bill works for Gringotts, but before anyone could get started on any real conversations, there was a slight popping noise.
Oh, and that's when Mr. Weasley comes back. I love how it describes Charlie. It's interesting when you read the book. So if you've not read the books, which most of you following along have, it says that Charlie is like the twins, more muscular and shorter. Mm-hmm. And you don't get that from the movies, right? The twins are tall and lanky, which doesn't ruin anything.
Yeah.
But then, and he's got calluses on his hands, and he's got a fresh burn on his arm.
Of course.
You know,
he
from
probably
working.
looks like a mess, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how it's like he has so many freckles. It looks like he has a tan.
Yes.
I love that. And then you've got Bill, who's more like Ron. He's tall and lanky. And he's got long hair, and he's got an earring that's a fang, and he's wearing dragonhide boots, and, you know, describes him as like, you know, somebody would wear that to a rock concert.
Yeah.
You know, Bill, which, you know, great descriptions of the brothers, which Bill's appearance is going to come up.
He looks cool.
Yeah, he looks cool. Maybe not to Mrs. Weasley, but he looks cool.
Yeah.
So they're all laughing, and, you know, Harry, how was your summer? And then pop, here comes Mr. Weasley. Obviously, he had to stay behind a little longer to help Dudley and to clean up the Dursleys' living room. And
he held the wrong part of his body.
yeah, he was livid. So he asked Fred, and, you know, why'd you give Dudley that candy? And Fred's so funny. He's like, I didn't give him any candy. I dropped that candy. It was Dudley's fault for eating it. I cannot be to blame. And he's like,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. But he's like, you knew they were on a diet. Like, you knew he was going to eat it. And so they ask, you know, how big did the tongue get? And Mr. Weasley's like,
I like that. How big did his tongue? Not like what happened. What,
how big did his tongue get? 4 feet long.
Was it
4
4?
feet
I
long.
thought it was just a foot.
4. Pretty sure it's 4 feet long. Let's take a look. Jumped it on purpose. It was 4 feet long before his parents would let me shrink it.
Oh, yeah, because it kept getting bigger. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So in the last chapter, it was a foot long when Harry powdered out of there.
But it just kept growing and growing.
Yeah, it kept growing. So finally the Dursleys relented, let him shrink it. And then everyone starts laughing again. But you got to remember, Mr. Weasley loves muggles. So he's like, no, that sort of behavior seriously undermines wizard-muggle relations. I spent half my life campaigning against the mistreatment of muggles and my own sons. Oh. And then he goes on, you wait till I tell your mother. Right as Mrs. Weasley walks in the kitchen.
Yep.
Mr. Weasley didn't even get to finish the threat. And she says, walking in, what is it that you need to tell me, Arthur? And this is where Smarty Pants, Ginny, and Hermione walk into the kitchen. Right? So we see them. They walk into the kitchen. And she keeps asking, what is it, Arthur? What is it that you have to tell me? And eventually Mr. Weasley responds to his wife, lovingly. It's nothing, Molly. Fred and George just... But I've had words with them. I've had words with them.
You know, you feel terrible when you tell your kid, I'm going to tell your mom, and then you actually tell the mom. You're like, oh, man, I feel mean as I'm talking.
Yeah. What would have been just an easy, empty threat for the boys. She walks in.
I mean, that's exactly,
Been there, done that.
It is. The good guy, yeah. So Mrs. Weasley wasn't going to accept that answer. She responds, what have they done this time? If it's got anything to do with chapter notable number 2, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. At this point, sensing a possible explosion in the kitchen, Hermione suggests that we should go. And what does it say in the book? It says, like, we should go. No, I want to stay. We should go.
Ron, you should show Harry where he's going to sleep. And Ron's like, he's been here before. He knows where he's going to sleep. Oh, Ronald.
Yeah, so Hermione suggests that she, Harry, Ginny, and Ron escape the situation by taking Harry to Ron's room. And Fred and George are like, yeah, we'll be right there.
Yeah, we'll come with you. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but Mrs. Weasley's like, nope, you're staying here. Once out of the kitchen, Harry asks about Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Ron responds by saying, well...
Mum found this stack of order forms when she was cleaning Fred and George's room. Great long price lists of stuff they've invented. Joke stuff, you know. Fake wands and trick sweets, loads of stuff. It was brilliant. I never knew they'd been inventing all that.
Then Ginny says, we've been hearing explosions out of the rooms for ages, but we never thought they were actually making things. We just thought they liked the noise. To which Ron added,
only most of the stuff, well, all of it really, was a bit dangerous and, you know, they were planning to sell it at Hogwarts to make some money, and Mum went mad at them, told them they weren't allowed to make any more of it, and burned all the order forms. She's furious at them anyway. They didn't get as many OWLs as she expected.
I would be so upset if I were them. I mean, knowing them, they have backups. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to have just those order forms, but this is another example of how smart these guys are. They are extremely smart to come up with this stuff. I mean, you just think of the twins as like goofballs, but we'll all find out how smart they are pretty soon.
Well, and this is a classic case, kids, of find something you love.
Yeah.
And you'll never work a day in your life. This is the twins all over it.
Yeah.
A joke shop. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, owning a business, like that's the way working for yourself and not having to go to a 9-to-5 job. Like, they already know they don't want to go to work. Wait on somebody else's schedule, follow somebody else's rules. They already know that. So I feel like Molly's just being real hard on them. But, you know, there's Charlie and Bill, and she wants them to follow in their footsteps. I get it, but still, it's like, Are you not realizing how like brilliant these guys are?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't easy things.
Yeah.
But if you remember, as JK is still giving us a few recaps here, OWLs stand for Ordinary Wizarding Levels, and they are the tests that fifth-year students take. Did you forget? Did you forget?
I did not. I did not.
Not you, but the listeners.
They did not either because they've listened or watched our episodes, and they're all in. They're all in.
It's the fourth book. They already know all this.
They know all this stuff. So it turns out that the reason that Mrs. Weasley is upset by their poor OWL performances is that these Hogwarts tests, the OWLs and the NEWTs that seventh years take, those test scores basically help decide what wizarding jobs you qualify for. But it really only sounds like it's directed towards ministry stuff. Like I don't think Gringotts is owned by the ministry.
Well, the funny thing is too is I don't recall her ever getting on Ron about any of this.
That's because Ron came after the troublemakers.
Yeah, so she's just like, Ron, go to you do you.
Way to keep your head down. Way to yeah. So
as long as you pass.
Yeah. But Mrs. Weasley, she does. She wants the twins to work for the ministry, just like Mr. Weasley does. And they told her that they want to open a joke shop, and she just didn't accept it. Right? She wasn't happy at all. So
I'd be like, what's going to be my job title?
Yeah. What do you see us doing at the ministry?
I also would like to work at your joke shop.
Yeah, I know, right? So they've, gone up a flight of stairs or so, and then Percy walks out into the hallway, wondering what all the commotion is about. I'm trying to work in here. I've got this report I'm working on. I can't get all of this thunderous walking out here. Well, then Ron's like, we're not thunderous, we're not walking. So they get, kind of in a back and forth. But before that, Harry asks Percy, like, hey, what are you working on? And then Percy responds with
a report for the Department of International Muggle Cooperation. They're trying to standardize cauldron thickness. Magical cooperation. Andrew.
Percy would be so upset if he was corrected. Andrew. Okay.
We're trying to standardize cauldron thickness. Some of these foreign imports are just a shade too thin. Leakages have been increasing at a rate of almost 3% a year.
Yeah, so Ron makes fun of Percy, like, that's really going to change the world. They go back and forth. And then Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they continue to make their way backstage. But here's the thing. Percy has a point here. Right? Percy has a point. I remember back in the day, and it's still sort of this way. Like, I remember back in the day when China, the United States really outsourced a lot of their manufacturing to China and India and all that stuff. And the stuff they were making was not up to our standards, right? Like, it was just cheap. It was bad. So there was this whole thing where it's like, okay, now we've got to make these standards for steels and engines and all this stuff. Like, okay, if other countries are going to make it, they can't just, send this stuff into the country. So for Percy to be like, we need to make a standardized cauldron thickness so that, we're not getting this stuff in here.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want it to slowly, start,
It's increasing every year.
Worse and worse, yeah.
It's increasing every year. So, look, Percy, I see you. Thank you.
Well, I mean, when you think back to when we're kids, like going to McDonald's, for instance, and getting a Happy Meal and getting a toy, so much better than what the quality. I'm not talking about what the toy is now, but the quality of the toy is so much better.
Yeah.
And just toys we had when we were younger, like, I still have some of them. Like, they were built to last, and now they're built to break.
Yeah, now
they're built so that you buy more. Yeah.
So they leave Percy, and then they go up. It says they go up another 3 flights of stairs. Another 3 flights of stairs. They've already gone up 1 or 2 flights. So this house is at least 4 or 5 stories tall.
It's a mystery.
4 or 5. I mean, I guess we could. Okay, let's see.
You mean we could look it up and find out?
In the book.
We cannot find
Harry
out.
and Ron edged out of the kitchen, and they, Hermione and Ginny, set along a narrow hallway up the rickety staircase that zigzagged through the house to the upper stories. So Harry asked as they climbed.
Google says it's 7 stories, which makes complete sense. I believe it.
Well, so here's my question, right? So
You got a question, Andrew?
They go up 3 flights of stairs, and you're gonna go into, in your section, the room assignments while everybody's there. And so you assume Mr. and Mrs. Weasley have a room, right?
Yeah.
And then Ron has a room, Percy has a room, the twins have a room, and Ginny has a room. Because Fred and George are staying in Ron's room while Bill and Charlie has their room. So that's 5 bedrooms. So if the burrow is 7 stories tall,
where are the other 2 bedrooms?
Where are the bedrooms? like where are the bedrooms? Yeah. But
I mean,
so anyway,
they might have turned it into storage.
Yeah, storage. This is a magical home.
Hey.
You can get a bag.
This is a very traditional-ish family.
Hermione can make a box that you can fit your entire house in.
That's Hermione's specialty. It's very advanced magic.
So I digress. They walk up 3 more flights and they stop. And then it sounds from the kitchen like Mr. Weasley finally told Mrs. Weasley what happened at the Dursleys' home. So they head into Ron's room to wait out the storm.
I wonder if he had mentioned, like, I blew off their wall. I made their house a mess. Did he mention anything that he did? He destroyed their house.
He
didn't just drop some candy.
I don't think so. Hold on, let me see. What's he saying?
And Vernon, I get it, but all he had to do was just let Arthur fix it. Reparo, done. But Vernon being Vernon, I get it. Now, we're back in Ron's room, and we see Pig, the owl that Sirius gave Ron at the end of the last school year. Fred and George are, like you said, staying in Ron's room with them because the 2 bedrooms disappeared, while Bill and Charlie are in the twins' rooms.
Just where are these bedrooms in this 7-story home?
Percy gets to keep his own room because he's doing work, which makes total sense.
I see it.
Harry had to ask why Ron, why did you name your owl Pig? Apparently Ginny named the owl Pigwidgeon, and now the owl won't answer to any other names because Ron kept trying to change his name. He said, okay, so his name is Pig. I mean, I have a dog. My girlfriend named her Charlie after her grandpa.
Okay.
When we got the dog, I said, she kind of looks like a puppet. I call her Puppet. So she got 2 different names. And she responds to both of them. I only call her Charlie when I do it on accident, but she responds to Puppet. Everybody laughs like a puppet. I said, yeah, that's her name. No, her name's Charlie. It's both. She responds to both, so it's all good. So, talking about Pig made Harry ask Hermione about Crookshanks. Remember Crookshanks?
I remember Crookshanks. We're still getting our little recaps in here, right? Still getting our little recaps.
Hermione said he's probably out in the garden chasing gnomes. Harry asked about Percy's work. I don't reckon he'd come home if Dad didn't make him. He's obsessed. Just don't get him in onto the subject of his bosses. According to Chapter Notable number 3, Mr. Crouch. As I was saying to Mr. Crouch, Mr. Crouch is of the opinion... Actually, he sounded like Mr. Crouch. And I was like, why is he saying that? Was he saying that in the Jim Dale version, or was it the dramatized version?
I don't. That doesn't sound like the Jim Dale. Okay. But I didn't listen to this chapter. I only read this chapter.
Okay. Mr. Crouch was telling me They'll be announcing their engagement any day now. But then they asked about Harry Summer, the food they sent him, if he's heard from Sirius, though they had to be discreet because Jenny was still there and thought Sirius was a murderous fugitive. And then they heard the arguing stop downstairs, so they headed back down.
Naturally. And my kids do this really well when my wife gets frustrated. Once she's, kind of calmed down, which she doesn't get frustrated a lot. My wife is a saint. They become very helpful around the house because they know, like, we've pushed her too far. We've not, we've not done our thing. So they go downstairs and they start helping Mrs. Weasley. Dinner, they got to prep dinner. There's 11 people there. Because there's 11 people there, they have to have dinner out in the yard, which is cool.
Cool. But I mean, you're a witch, Mrs. Weasley. You can eat in the house if you want to.
Yeah.
But traditional. I mean, they're a traditional family. They can just do magic. So it makes sense. But then you're like, what?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I love this scene. Mrs. Weasley, as she's preparing dinner, is talking to herself about her disappointment in the twins, and she's just flustered at them.
A little harsh there, Molly.
She's being a little reckless, and I love this one. At one point, she jabbed her wand at the cutlery drawer, which shot open. Harry and Ron both jumped out of the way as several knives soared out of it, flew across the kitchen, and began chopping the potatoes, which had just been tipped back into the sink by the dustpan because so much was happening. She sets her wand down to move a pot, and then she goes to pick it back up. And as she picks up her wand, it emitted a loud squeak, and it turned into a giant rubber mouse. This only made her more angry. She turned around to see the sauce was burning on the stove. And at this point, the kids decided to all just go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's having a moment.
Yeah, so they walk outside, and the first thing they see is Crookshanks is chasing a gnome. All while on the other side of the house, Bill and Charlie are both having a magical battle. They've got their wands out, and they've got these tables in the air, flying high above the lawn, smashing into each other, each attempting to knock the others out of the air, which sounds like, now we've got some just unnecessary fun magic.
Sounds like a blast.
Right? Yeah. Fred and George are cheering, Ginny's laughing, Hermione was hovering near the hedge, apparently torn between amusement and anxiety. Bill's table caught Charlie's with a huge bang and knocked one of its legs off, and there was a clatter from overhead. They all looked to see Percy's head poking out of the window on the second floor. Naturally upset that everyone's happy.
Yes. What are you all doing having fun? These cauldrons, mind you. So Percy, who is inside working, opens the window and yells for them to be quiet. Bill and Charlie fix the tables and set the tables because they can do magic things, Molly.
They can do magic things.
Other than use your wand to cook with and clean, Molly. You can do other stuff with your wand, Mrs. B.A. And she is a B.A. She definitely is. By what o'clock? 7? No way.
Yes.
The two tables were groaning under the dishes and dishes of Mrs. Weasley's excellent cooking, and the 9 Weasleys, Harry and Hermione, were settling themselves down to eat beneath the clear, deep blue sky. To somebody who had been living on meals of increasingly stale cake all summer, which I'm pretty sure I'd brought that up.
Yeah.
Yes. This was paradise, and at first Harry listened rather than talked as he just helped himself to chicken and ham pie, boiled potatoes, and salad. Obviously, Percy was still talking work to Mr. Weasley. He was telling his father about getting a report done early and that everything is extremely busy in their department due to the Quidditch World Cup. Percy mentions they're not getting the support they need from the Department of Magical Games and Sports, headed by chapter notable number 4, Ludo Bagman, which when I read the books and Ludo, because I'm trying not to get too ahead, like I said, the amount of times I've listened to these and read them and watched the movies, Ludo Bagman's a likable character, right?
He is a likable character.
Yeah, because every time I hear him, I'm like, oh yeah, Ludo Bagman.
Yeah, he's just a big kid. He loves Quidditch. Yeah. He loves sports, and now he's head of Magical Games and Sports, right? Yeah. So when I read the books, especially after the movies came out, in my head, like I hear Daniel Radcliffe, I hear Emma Watson, right? I hear Richard Harris, like I hear all these things. But
sometimes that's why I'll watch something first and then go back and read it so I have the voices.
Yeah. That's how Game of Thrones was for me. There's so many characters, like it was very slow for me to get through the book, and then I watched the first season, and I got to see all of the characters or most of the characters, and then I was able to go through and read. I mean, there's so many characters.
Then you got the books and the the voices and the images in
but
your head. Yeah.
Ludo Bagman, we don't get to see him in the movies, so I always picture him, and I don't know why, but I always picture him. Did you ever see the movie The Emperor's New Groove, the
Yes.
Disney movie? Do you remember Kronk, the muscular sidekick to Esme? I always picture Ludo Bagman as Kronk. So when I read his stuff, and I'm like, Quidditch, the magical games of Quidditch. Yes. Yeah, it's like I don't know why I use his voice. So it's gonna be it. Like we're gonna get to, because he not only is he a likable character, but some interesting stuff happens with Ludo.
Yeah.
In this book. So it's really cool to keep an eye on him. Yeah. So as Percy's talking about Ludo Bagman, Mr. Weezes is like, hey, I like Ludo Bagman. That's who gave me the tickets. And then we get a little sneak peek at some government collusion.
I knew it. I knew you were going to bring it up.
Which was almost a chapter notable. Government collusion. Mr. Weasley did Ludo a bit of a favor. His brother, Otto, got into a spot of trouble, a lawnmower with unnatural powers. But don't worry, government employee to a government employee, he smoothed the whole thing over.
Yep.
So then Percy jumps in. Oh, well, Bagman's likable enough, of course, but how he ever got to be a head of a department? When I compare him to Mr. Crouch, I can't see Mr. Crouch losing a member of our department and not trying to find out what's happened to them. You realize, chapter notable number 5, Bertha Jorkins has been missing for over a month now, went on holiday to Albania and never came back. Now, this is not the first time we're meeting or hearing about Bertha Jorkins. In the very first chapter, back when we meet Frank Bryce and we are listening to Voldemort and Wormtail talk, they mentioned Bertha Jorkins, and now we're hearing about her again, and we learn more. Bertha Jorkins, she is the type of person that gets lost quite frequently, and that she used to work for Mr. Crouch, and they're disappointed that Ludo, who Bertha, has been kind of moved around from department to department in the ministry. She, at one point, worked for Mr. Crouch, but now she works for Ludo. And Mr. Crouch is a little disappointed that Ludo hasn't tried looking for her. And then he mentions Percy. We've got quite enough on our plates at the Department of International Magical Cooperation without trying to find members of other departments too. As you know, chapter notable number 6, we've got another big event to organize right after the World Cup. Right after the World Cup. And then Ron turns to Harry. He's been dropping hints like this all summer. He wants us to ask, and we're just not going to ask. And Percy waits. He waits to see if anybody's going to press him about what he's talking about, but no one takes the bait. So then everybody turns their attention to tomorrow's activities. We're heading to the World Cup. So everybody starts talking about the final. Ireland versus Bulgaria. Firebolts. Chapter Notable 7. Viktor Krum, who is the seeker for Bulgaria. So they get a little excited, which, I mean, the night before the big match, you got to be super stoked. So dinner finishes. Everyone's talking. Ron could ask Harry, finally, about Sirius. And he almost told Ron and Hermione about the dream that he had and what his scar did after the dream, but he didn't. He said, "This is just a good night. I don't want to ruin it by talking about it."
Oh yeah.
And then Mrs. Weasley's like, "All right, everybody, let's get up to bed. Got to be up very early the following morning to get to the World Cup."
So before we get into our final thoughts, what happened with the script? Why do I only have part of it?
So,
because I got it like minutes before. Oh, you were probably finishing it. Is that what you were doing?
I was. So I was trying to finish watching the Finding Harry doc, and then I just had like 3 more pages of the chapter to finish.
Okay.
And so I was like, that's going to take me no time. And I got on there and I noticed that you copy and paste yours. And I saw that it was all highlighted. And I was like, oh, he's doing it too soon. He's doing it too soon. So that's why I was the slacker. I was down in Florida for 5 days and didn't take my script writing responsibilities.
And you went down to Florida, and you had told me last time we recorded exactly why you were going, how long you were. You told me everything, and I was trying to look something up on the computer and heard nothing you said.
That's all right. That's all right.
But this chapter was great. I mean, does it do anything to add to the story?
Not really. Not really. Because basically it's just them preparing for dinner and having dinner, right? Yeah, but it's the conversations, the Mr. Crouches. We learn more about Bertha Jorkins. We meet Viktor Krum, talk about Viktor Krum. Bill and Charlie being in, obviously we see them on and off for the rest of the series.
Yeah, it's like a little bit. There's a couple of new things sprinkled in here. Like if you weren't paying attention, you would just read right over it and not even notice, like, oh, Barty Crouch, Ludo Bagman. You probably, well, for me, Ludo Bagman stands out. I like the name Ludo Bagman, so that kind of stands out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's easy to look over it because she didn't make a big deal of these new things. So,
you know what? She never does, right? She just kind of throws them in there. There's this conversation, and then we meet him, and it's like, okay, we meet him, and then it's like, oh, there's some plot here, that surrounds this character. So, it was a fun, informative chapter. Again, she's still just kind of preloading.
Well, it's kind of fun too because usually it's Dursleys and then straight into Hogwarts.
Sure.
And now, I mean, we're introducing all this new stuff. We're about to get into Chapter 6, the Portkey, which is going to take us to the Quidditch World Cup, and it's a lot. Which really, she did so good in using that World Cup to add to the story. I mean, it's a big, huge part of the story. It's not just about the Quidditch World Cup. So, it's going to thicken up here. But I do like the way the book starts out. Like, man, we're calm, we're cool, we're collected, we're getting in the mood. She's kind of putting us in the Weasley house, putting us there with all the Weasleys, and it just feels great. It's putting you in a good mood, and it's setting you up for what's about to happen.
Absolutely, and we still, we've got the Portkey, and then we've got Bagman and Crouch. We still got 2 chapters before we even get to the World Cup, right? And then we've got, so the Portkey gets us there. We've got a chapter introducing us and interactions before the final match. Then we get the final match. Then we have what happens after the final match. So we get 3 chapters of what happens in this one day.
Yeah.
Right. So the next day, there's so much that happens there. We get 3 chapters dedicated to one day. So it's pretty cool.
That's another short chapter. It looks like it's 10 pages long, the port key.
Yeah, the port key. Yeah,
I keep getting all the short chapters, man. It makes writing the script a lot easier.
How many pages is 7?
What happened?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I just looked at
9, 10,
the contents.
11, 12.
Mine say it's page 65 to 75.
16. Okay, so chapter 7 is pretty decent. So we'll do that one on its own.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us, whether you're listening to us or watching us. We would appreciate if you would smash that subscribe button. We just need a good Accio for the subscribers. We just need all the subscribers that we could get.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us on Spotify, if you can give us a thumbs up or leave us a 5-star rating, I think a 5-star rating would be good. Yeah, it'll push us out there. Let more.
I didn't know that was.
Yeah, on Spotify they can, maybe on other platforms too, but I know Spotify they can, and it would help push us out to other Harry Potter fans that are looking for content. And who are they supposed to be sharing with all
all of your Potterhead friends?
Yes, I still love it. I've seen another one where Tom Felton is like, hey, you just said Harry Potter. And it's just so weird hearing him say Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, Harry Potter. So join us next time as we discuss Chapter 6, The Port Key. Andrew, sign us out.
Mum, no one at the bank gives a damn how I dress as long as I bring home plenty of treasure.
Squibs Corner is hosted by Jeremiah Lobaugh and co-hosted by Andrew Beecham, myself. We would love to hear from you, so drop us a rate and review. To inquire about being a guest, or if you have questions, comments, or just want to give us your Harry Potter story, email us at squibscorner@gmail.com. To watch Harry Potter merch unboxings, follow Jeremiah's YouTube, Accio Potter Guy. Lastly, you can leave us a voice memo and follow us on Instagram at Squibs Corner Podcast.